Hello, everyone. Hello, my dears. This is one of our interesting interviews with Orsi, Orsolya, who is certified trainer in so many things that I will let her introduce herself and let her tell more about herself. But before I do that, I will just tell you briefly what our session is going to be about, and you can actually see it in the title. So how to shift fitness business to online. So I put fitness, but it's actually deeper than that. Okay? It's more niche, let's say, because Orsolya is specialized in yoga, in Pilates, and I think in something else as well. So the range of her expertise is actually quite wide. So Orsolya will tell us today how she has managed to shift her business from offline to online because of COVID, of course. And we know a lot of people who work in fitness industry, they suffered a lot because of COVID. And it's really, really sad, actually, because this is one of the most important things in our life. If you don't move, you don't live, basically. And that's why it's important that fitness is out there for us, and people like Orsolya are there out there for us, and they manage to do something and shift quickly the business into online, so we could benefit from their expertise and from fitness. So Orsolya, I will give the word to you, so you would introduce yourself properly, because I was afraid I would miss something. So please go ahead.
So I am originally from Hungary, and I am living in Belgium for about 11 years, maybe even more now. And I have started as a Pilates teacher and personal trainer around 11 years before. So first I was teaching mat work, because you might know that in Pilates we are having, beside the mat work, all the apparatus class. And first I started with Pilates here through some certifying institute, then I changed to Stott Pilates. And in Stott Pilates, since it's an international organization, all the certification are connected with Canada headquarters, and then we go on with the certification in different countries, because it's all a connected system. So I have been doing it in Budapest, in Belgium, in Los Angeles, mainly in these three parts of the world. And parallel with Pilates, I have been already personal trainer by NASM and ISSA, the International Sport Institute. Then NASM, I have done it here in Belgium, and then I went on with different functional training certification parallel with that. But I have been also body art teacher first for 5 years, and then in 2012 I switched to teach yoga. So in that moment I stopped teaching body art, because it's a system which is really similar to yoga and different in the same time, as it is merging different approaches. So it's kind of like an integrated holistic functional fitness routine. So it has some similarities with the Vinyasa yoga system, but since it is more like functional and it's less complicated, for some people it was more convenient than the yoga. But as I got certified to yoga and I got deeper in my yoga practice, I stopped teaching body art. And yeah, like this is the three main thing what I'm doing: the yoga, Pilates with the machines and with the mat work, and personal training. But beside that, I have been also into the Degasquet method, which is a postnatal routine. So I am having a lot of private expertise with people. It's mainly happening with the reformer and with the Cadillac. And I have been teaching in Pilates studios all around, but I have been working a lot with Austria and New Louise. So that was my main job for more than 8 years. And then from that, shifted toward my own little home studio, and now we are shifting toward the Sofitel. So like I mentioned,
your expertise is impressive, and I went to one of your sessions, and yeah, I have to admit that it was pretty different from anything else that I have tried. I could feel the difference, and I could feel the expertise that you have, because you are experiencing many things, you were like putting things together, and that what made it different, I suppose. But anyways, yeah, because we're talking about shifting fitness business to online today, maybe tell us more about this period, when COVID has actually started and all of a sudden it hit you. How did you feel as a business? What were the expectations, let's say, and aspirations as well? Okay, what I'm going to do now, how I'm going to do now, who is going to support me, is there a government for me?
Yeah. So the first lockdown was the hardest for me because in that time it was not really clear how the government is going to support, and I personally got a lot of complication receiving the first time the support. So I needed to go through a lot of phone call with different organizations because that was something they didn't register well with my number back like more than 11 years before. And first they didn't want it to give me the support. And that was, for this reason, it was the hardest period for me, the first lockdown. And there I immediately started to think about how to shift my business. And it's not a straightforward and not an easy path because I did not had a really big social media build before. I have been really much someone working with bouche à oreille, so it's like a mouth-to-mouth marketing. I had a lot of private students, like in the 10 and 11 year, it's just natural that people start to know you and they are coming through friend of friends and through your connections. And the difficulty was that in fitness, the quality is often coming from the adjustments what you are giving and the personalization. And it's often not one method, but the merge of many methods and also the machines. So it is something what is traditionally and classically connected with being presential and being present because it's just so much about the connection between people and about the extra touch what I can give. But I still started to think about how can I put this into, how can I convert this into an online presence. So I started to organize my first Udemy class. I filmed a series of yoga backbend.
But hold on, Orsi. So I will interrupt you here because I want to know how did this click happen? Because there are online courses which you can have on the website. There are different platforms. So first of all, why did you come up, for example, with Udemy and not anything else?
Yeah, so I have been thinking on Patreon, Udemy, and I have been thinking on the Vimeo and the home site. And finally, I started the Udemy just haphazard, like I have been checking the platform. It seemed to be really well done for me. I have been also taking Udemy courses. And Udemy is a platform where you are buying classes. You are paying a certain amount of money, like most of the class around 10 or 12 euro, and then it is yours. So the Patreon is a subscription system. So it means that it's engaging people to stay in the system. But some people are dropping out. So it's a good question. What is better? I am personally, I'm having also something built in my home site, and that is a subscription-based system. So some people like to have a subscription because they are having an access to different material and a wider range of material, while other people don't want to be subscribed into something. They prefer to have a package of a class and get the access for a longer period of time and have the opportunity of reviewing it. I personally like more being in these kind of platforms, because sometimes when we subscribe to something, we are not sure about how much time we are going to have access to this material. And
actually, I will tell you my bad experience, because I have purchased a course from a Russian lady. It's just a fitness course, and it's 1 month course.
Mm-hmm.
And when I bought it, I didn't have a look on my schedule. Later, when it started, I realized that I have a Tony Robbins course, which was 5 days, and then something else came out. And so those 30 days, basically, so I trained for 1 week, but then the whole thing has started. I dropped out, and I basically didn't come back. So, and it finishes in 30 days, and you don't have access to it anymore. So I thought, okay, I'm never gonna buy that type of course again, because I just can't come back to it. But tell me, did you do any market research, customer research before you decided how you would go into it?
So the first time when I started to do this class, the backband and the Udemy, it was like I was a first timer, so I was not doing such an extensive market research. I was like thinking I need to start somewhere, and I think there are many things to look for when we are building an online class, and sometimes we just need to give it a go, and when we are inside, we just start to see the complexity of it. So it is much more complex than it looks like. Like, I can say that it is much more complex, because first of all, there are many wonderful fitness instructors who doesn't have an online audience, because it just takes an enormous time. It's just a lot of marketing. YouTube is also a platform of marketing. Instagram is a platform of marketing. Your own home site is also a marketing platform, and people nowadays, they got used to get everything for free. And there are many factors makes it quite hard to have a breakthrough online. And plus, we need to be really consistent. And there is another thing which is coming into the picture, that you need to learn about how to film, you need to learn about the audio, you need to learn about the lights, you need to learn about that many video what you're preparing is not going to be successful simply because the postman will ring the bell, you will need to throw out, you will cut half of your head, you will cut your feet, the camera will move into, so you will have problems with the battery will go off, you will film yourself without voice, then you will need to throw out a lot of material, and all this is coming with the experience. So
because I can really relate to what you are saying. It's like the story of my life, let's say, because I was recording also courses for fearless female founders. And it's absolutely crazy. Sometimes you can spend like an hour of talking on the camera, and all of a sudden you realize it was not recording.
Yes.
And once it happened, that it happened like 2 times in a row. Imagine 2 hours of recording, and 2 times something went wrong and the video disappeared. And I was so frustrated. And there are a lot of things indeed that are involved into video recording that we don't realize, and this is one part of recording the video. Another part is promotion, which is a completely different thing. And in a way, I understand like why you went for Udemy, because Udemy is doing that part for you partially. They're promoting the courses, your courses there, people are searching for it and they find it. If you're doing it alone, then you need to promote it by yourself, and this is also a different story. All that email marketing and advertising and everything, it's I know what you're talking about.
But sorry.
But as you said, I think it's very important not to overthink. I think more than men, we are prone to paralysis of analysis. I don't know like where it comes from, but working with women and working with men for many years, what I realized that women try to visualize and plan everything ahead.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, this is going to be like this, like that, or I need to plan this and that. And when you actually see this big picture and what you have to do, you just get paralyzed. You don't stop and you're not going forward. So what you said is actually really important, that sometimes you just don't need to overthink things and you just need to go into it and learn along the way.
Exactly. So I have started to do it, and I have learned a lot, and I'm still learning a lot. So, like I said, first of all, it was a lot of complication with the actual recording, and it is still happening. So it still happens that I need to throw out a lot of material. The first material for Udemy, it was filmed in nature, and that was, for example, that was helping the lights, because I needed to purchase the equipments for the lighting. I needed to purchase a new camera, and to figure out what is the good audio. And then I learned how to edit these materials. And I started to put such materials to YouTube, and really different materials to my home site. So actually, my home site is the most complex platform, because in my home site, I have a part which is about the classes. So I am recording the classes, but what I am teaching. But I have also my 3 Udemy course, because I have right now 3 Udemy course available. The first is the back bend. So it's a yoga topic. It's about how to achieve deep back extensions, like drop back bends, like the royal pigeon with a flip grip, like the Dhanurasana. So this is the bow pose. So it's like it's quite niche, and it's really about expanding the limit of the flexibility. The second one is a home and travel fitness. That is more about how to use minimalistic equipment, like elastic, Swiss ball, like even the TRX is there, but I was trying to focus on accessible materials, like not really expensive, not really heavy, portable. So I guess when we are traveling, we mainly can bring either water bottle, either elastic. And I got the impression that in the first part of the pandemic, people didn't want to invest in fitness materials, because they always got the impression that it will be finished soon. So
and then they put out. I couldn't buy kettlebells for, I don't know, like 2 months probably.
Exactly. I guess people didn't want to store the materials, because some people have place problem, and they were just waiting the gyms to reopen, and they were always thinking that this will be over and they can just return to their life before. But I really do think that people need to a little bit working in their own. So that was the second series, and the third series is out recently. It's a Pilates series. I guess that this is the series I have been having the biggest knowledge already about how to do this. So because when we teach presential, we got a routine, we got used to it, we got used to how to work with clients. Like, for example, in Belgium, I got used to teach simply in 2 languages when it comes to group classes. I got a heavy routine. That's nothing else to say. And in the online teaching, I was often like also shy and frustrated in the beginning, like can I expose my expat English to a larger audience, because I was shy about my accent. And
you're not the only one. It's funny, because I've never was shy about my accent, even though some people were commenting on it when I was having my beauty YouTube channel. But I know people actually here in Belgium who are really shy about using certain language because they think they're not ready, they think they will be making mistakes, or the accent is too strong. But yeah, whoever is listening to us and this is something that prevents you from going ahead, please don't look at it that way, because people actually like it sometimes. I mean, there will be people who might not like it, but a lot of people actually see it as something special and unique about yourself. I mean, who cares about all those mistakes potentially that you can do? So it's really something unique about you, your accent. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's something which was hard for me to get over, and I guess even before the pandemic, I was thinking on doing tutorials like this, and I remember that I had like a lot of interview with the L Belgium, like back in time, like we had like 8 articles coming out, and I was writing of diverse topics, and I still have in my Instagram some black and white picture. And then back that time they asked me, "Do you want to talk also?" And I said, "No. I have this expat English. My pronunciation is not perfect, and I'm not saying that my English is poor, but it would not go in YouTube or in this kind of platforms." And I knew back at that time that I'm also having a tendency of talking really fast. So I was like, no, I would just annoy me. And this pandemic gave me this push. So I was like, I just need to do it. It's just no time to find reasons why not to do it. I just got to do it. And for this reason, it was like giving me the push, and I started to be more and more natural when I was filming. And I guess that right now I kind of got over these fears. Not saying that, yeah, because it's my teaching. So actually,
Exactly. Yeah.
actually, it's something I do in my normal life. So.
And can you tell me more about Udemy, like all the technicalities and everything? Do you do it fully yourself, or do you outsource it?
Yeah, so I do it fully myself. So what I'm doing is after I have made the videos, I start cutting. I'm using a program called Shortcut. Then I am editing the thumbnails. It's a program called Canva what I'm using.
Yeah.
And yeah, my boyfriend was greatly helpful in the beginning because I'm not someone really naturally good with IT. So I needed to get guided, he taught me how to edit and how to prepare these thumbnails, and then I take over this. So actually the platform of the Udemy is really simple. So when you got everything edited, and you just need to upload. And I also put materials to Vimeo, and Vimeo is actually a better definition. So they are having the definition in 4K, but that's the same system. So you buy a certain course for like €10, €12, sometimes €30, and then you have it forever. So if you are someone who prefers not to engage in the subscription system, like the Patreon would be that way, or my home site also, then you are better with either Udemy, either the Vimeo. And they are really, really simple to handle. So you create your profile, you write your description, you upload the videos, and you put the thumbnails. And then when it's out, you start indeed advertising. So right now, I also learn more about advertising. I still need to learn more.
So when you're talking about advertising, are you talking about advertising in Udemy or externally?
Externally. So during this pandemic, I have taken classes of digital marketing with a university called Emeritus. And right now I am preparing to study about Facebook certification. So I came to realize that these are more complex than they look like. So I am constantly in a learning curve, right? So
You haven't tried Google advertising yet. I think
yeah.
like Facebook and Instagram are more straightforward in terms of advertising, even though there should be like certain learning curve to that. Because I was working with Google advertising back then, it was called AdWords. When I came out of Google and I started trying other types of advertising, I was like, why do they make it so complex in Google?
Yeah, okay.
So actually, yeah, like Instagram particularly, yeah, it's not that difficult. You just need to go and you follow what the system offers you, what the system proposes you. Then you need to know some tricks about optimizations, of course, but generally speaking, it's what's the word? It's logical. Yeah, well, in Google, yeah, you really need to know how it all works, because yeah, it's a little bit confusing. But anyways, it's like fascinating how much you have learned during this last period, right? And can I ask you something about Udemy? So when you upload your course, I suppose you pay them a certain percentage.
No, I mean, you don't pay if it's not selling. You pay a certain percentage for them, and if I remember, with Udemy is 30%, and Vimeo is better. So to be honest, as I should actually have double checked you because I don't remember the share they take, but Vimeo is having a better cut. So if
I didn't even know that Vimeo actually has courses. I thought it's
yes,
like
they have courses, and the thing is that when the videos got uploaded to my home site, sometimes we also need to get them uploaded to Vimeo, and there my boyfriend is helping me. So he has been helpful in fixing that. Vimeo is a better definition than Udemy, and if you upload something there, you have you pay them less from your share. But I guess that Udemy is more well known. So
yeah, definitely Udemy is well known. But yeah, I didn't know it. They take so much actually. 30% is really a lot. And
Patreon can be also a good system. Like it's like if you're thinking on your audience that maybe your audience doesn't want to engage in a subscription system, they just want to take the course. Then you go for either Udemy, either the Vimeo. But if you would like to actually engage your audience, then the Patreon is better. It's just the difficulty is that when you go in many directions, then only uploading the materials take also extreme time. So like for me, like I said, to my homepage, I upload there the full hour classes. These are only available at my homepage. And there I have the three organized class, like the home and travel fitness, the backbend, and the Pilates series from zero to hero. They are also in my homepage, but in the Udemy and the Vimeo also. So when you distribute something in so many directions, you feel like it's just a lot of work. So it is not, how to say, I'm not 100% sure that in half year I will still work with the same systems, because maybe that Patreon is a great alternative. Like it's really trending to have a Patreon, and people are paying their subscription, and you can define also different levels for your subscription. Like people can pay different amount for have access to your different classes. It's just that I had times when I was literally spending more than 25-30 hours in a week with all this online stuff. And if it wouldn't be pandemic, I don't know how it would go. So right now, for example, my YouTube materials are defined for 4 or 5 weeks in advance, And I know that next week I will go and start editing and pushing all the material just to stay consistent. But this is just extreme amount of work. It's it is.
Yeah, I know.
Only when you are in, you know it.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, I think like when you talk about consistency, this is the hardest thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, you need to understand if you are the right person for things like this or not, you know, because this is something I wanted as well, you know, like courses for fearless female founders, but I just realized that it's a huge amount of work. And if you want to be consistent, you should be available at all times to produce that content. And I'm just not physically capable of doing that. So I'm searching also like for other ways now to feel that I deliver value, but at the same time, I don't kill myself under this pressure of being consistent and always delivering. It's hard work. So I do totally understand what you're talking about. But plus, are you going to give some discount to our listeners for your courses?
I can offer actually free classes as well. So I can give out a certain amount of free class. I can create some code. So if like around 5 or 10 people reach out to me, I can create discount codes. Then they would have access to Udemy. They would have access only with the code for 1 month, because Udemy is letting me to give monthly free access, and the free access is stopping after a month. With the Vimeo, I have the opportunity of creating a little bit more, but and this access is not going to be valid forever, so the system doesn't let me. But if they are reaching out for subscribing to my YouTube and for give a little social media support in this way, I'm glad to give. And yeah, the other thing with these courses and with this social media, that I also want to say that sometimes nowadays it's all about getting attention. That I also somehow clarified it in front of myself, that these materials are marketing materials, and even if someone is not becoming a YouTube star or not creating the biggest sales and business in these platforms, it can bring something else. For example, in 1 year, I am certified to teach yoga teachers, because I am certified since 2005 to teach yoga. And the media attendance I can achieve, that people will have the opportunity to check my classes in YouTube and in Udemy, that can help me to get, like, for example, attention to these classes. I am a teacher with Yoga Alliance UK. Yoga Alliance UK is letting this to happen, teachers to teach after more than 8 years of experience and more than 8 years with the relevant certification. They are also reviewing my materials. They like my materials. So this is something, again, like, if this would be not there, maybe this would be harder, you know.
You know, as you said, visibility and getting attention is everything. So make sure that you drop all the needed information under this video in our Fearless Female Founders group, that you can make also a separate post where you can write about your courses and where people can access it, and your website as well. So please do that, and we're gonna try your courses. I need that, because I have like a lot of pain recently in my neck and in my shoulders. Really need something like that. Okay, so to complete our session, what can you recommend to those who are listening to us and who are thinking, should I do this? Should I not? Should I go online? Should I create courses or not? What would you tell them?
But I guess that right now it's important. So I know that the competition is high, and I know that it can be discouraging, and I know that there are teachers who are thinking that there is no way to create value and catch attention. But this is an added value, and people are seeing that. So when people research and they see that you are not just talking about your certification, but you are capable of showing some value in YouTube or in your social media, people realize that. And I mean, I have been always someone really down to earth. I never had this really fancy way of presenting myself. I've been always valuing people extremely and trying to give my best knowledge to help. And in these videos, I'm also trying to continue this way. I'm trying to help, and I'm trying to give my knowledge. And I got people also after the first lockdown who find me for private classes, and they find me for classes through this YouTube and Instagram links. So right now, it's not really good to be hidden. It can be that these materials that you create for YouTube or Instagram, they are not going to make you a social media star, because this is not for everyone, but they will help you to increase awareness, and maybe you will get awareness in your own niche, and that's a value. It's definitely is.
This is so important, what you have just said. And I want to add a little bit to that. It's indeed, the expectations that we have when we start something like this, that we indeed will become the stars of the internet, of YouTube, or whatever. Most of the times it doesn't happen, but it doesn't mean, as you said, that you are not noticed. Actually, like massive visibility is really, really important. And sometimes, I make videos which I feel no one is watching, but apparently people do watch. Sometimes they don't watch them straight away, like we're having now the broadcasting, but they watch them later. And people are reaching out to me later. And in fact, all my partnerships and cooperations and opportunities that I have, which are amazing, came out because of the visibility.
Yes,
because
exactly.
out there, even if it felt that sometimes people are not listening and no one is watching, people do. And this is how people refer you also, because they see you. They see you and they notice you. So massive visibility, 10x. Yeah, massive visibility is really, really important. It will bring you a lot of interesting opportunities. Orsi, thank you so much for being with us today. Our listeners also, thank you so much to you. If you want to get access to Orsi courses, you need to go to our Fearless Female Founders Facebook group. Orsi will post everything under the video, and also will create a separate post, I hope.
Yes.
Thank you all so much, and you have a great weekend.
Thanks a lot. Have a nice weekend.
Bye.